What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video on the channel. This one is going to be my review of Remnant 2. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Remnant 2. If you played it or if you're looking to play it, let me know. Let's jump into the review. There are so many Souls games out there. Most of them are misses, but sometimes we get a game that comes along and takes the formula and puts its own twist on it. I'm a huge Soulsborne fan. I've put hundreds of hours into these games. I can say with confidence that I'm a veteran of the genre. When a new game comes out for the genre, I want to see them put a little twist on it. And this is where Remnant 2 comes into the picture. I haven't played Remnant from the ashes, so this is my first foray into this franchise. I had no idea what to expect from this game. A shooter that is a Soulsborne? Color me intrigued, man. I really enjoyed my time with this game. I put in 40 hours with both PC and console on PS5 put together. I finished the campaign and explored the world as much as I possibly could. The most positive thing I can say about this is that the exploration and RPG elements in this game are phenomenal. The fact that you could start the game and it's RNG on which campaign you're going to start with is kind of crazy to me. And that there's so many branching ways with puzzles and side dungeons makes exploring so rewarding. Every time I go into a new area, I always get excited for what kind of rings, amulets, mods, or even materials I'm going to get to up my arsenal. There is so much customization in this game, and the game rewards the player for diverse builds with different guns, mods, and relics. Not everything is positive though. The story is a little throwaway. You know what? Not even a little. It's pretty throwaway in Remnant 2. I really tried for the first 5 hours to be engaged, to really look at these characters, but man, the writing in this game, I just could not get invested. Like a lot of Souls games, the bosses are the bread and butter. This is going to be a hot take for me and for this review. I think 80% of the bosses in this game are just not designed well. This goes from the design, the mechanics, and the lack of iframes that Remnant 2 has that make a lot of the fights a slog than satisfying to fight. I'm going to go over all of this in detail with gameplay, story, and exploration. Remnant 2 is not a shmup. It isn't a runner shooter. This game reminds you of Dark Souls, honestly. It's slow and deliberate. The shots have to count because there's ammo in this game. The player has two guns, a long-range gun and a pistol usually. The long-range gun can be a shotgun and the pistol can be an SMG, but it's kind of like a give and take. Running slowly was the way that I played this game because it became very evident that you can get overwhelmed really easily with all the enemies in the zones. And then if there's an elite in there in the pack as well, survivability is really low. Attaching different mods on my guns really made these encounters so much fun. Since this is a gun-wielding Soulsborne game, having a gun is amazing because it adds an element of verticality. But this combat really breaks down for me when it comes to the boss battles, especially the ones that require a lot of dodging. There's something funky happening with iframes in Remnant 2, and I can't really put my finger on it. I feel like there's not enough frames to dodge certain attacks and you just get hit no matter what. There are some bullshit mechanics like taking constant damage going up a ladder. The ladder is long enough that once you start going up, you die midway through. There are just a handful of bosses that I legit enjoyed because there was a great way to break line of sight or kind of make some distance. I do like the rewards for these bosses though. I think they're really good. Most of the time they're materials that can be crafted into different mods or even different guns, which can change your build and the way that you play. This game rewards a player for creativity. I had a build that was straight up using mods for big damage. I'd recover mod energy so fast that I could just keep spamming it. The mods had bleeding damage, poison, and burn, so enemies just went down so quickly. I love the flexibility in Remnant 2. Most Soulsborne games have different classes that you could start with, but you aren't really pushed into that class. It's just something to have with starting stats. In Remnant 2 though, this is your class and these are the skills you're going to get pertaining to said class. There are usually 4 perks, 3 skills, and then a prime skill. There are 11 classes in the game, and as you level up, you unlock the new perks and skills. This can be further built on when you add a second archetype to your character. You can pretty much get everything from that archetype as well except the prime perk. It just needs to be leveled, and honestly that can be kind of a pain in the ass depending if you want to keep changing your different archetypes or if you want to grind out the levels to get all the perks. Each ranged weapon doesn't just stop with mods, they can also have mutators. These can also be upgraded. There are buffs that are added to said weapon to help boost your power. This can vary from melee damage to reloading certain guns that will give the next bullet more damage. Honestly, it doesn't even just stop at weapons. There's items called relics, which are quote-unquote the Estus in this game, that give you different buffs and can do many different things. This doubles down even more with giving the player choice on how they want to play. All these systems are built on top of each other, and I love it so much. There are 4 ring slots, an amulet slot, and 4 armor slots for your character. There are a myriad of rings and amulets in the world that you could find in all different places, but there's not too much armor. I went through 80% of the game with the same armor, and I was kind of bummed about that. In the end, the game scratches that RPG and Soulsborne itch I've had. And this game is fully multiplayer as well, up to 3 players. I enjoyed the game in multiplayer so much more, honestly, and it made the boss fights more bearable. And really exploring a world with friends is just so much better than doing it solo, especially in this game. I never played Remnant from the Ashes, so I had no idea what to expect when it came to the story from this game. From what I've heard, the storytelling was done through a lot of notes in the first game. Remnant 2 is pretty much fully voice acted, but the writing in this game, not great. We're just thrown into a story with no setup really. We meet characters in People of War 13, which is the hub area, and just kind of accepted no matter what with no question at all. The writing doesn't get better 20 hours in as well, but I pretty much started skipping most of the dialogue except for the boss cutscenes. I'm a sucker for those. Even when it comes to the old Souls games and this game, I just want to watch those intros, those boss battles, because they are just done so well. Characters kind of go on a whim, they kind of go do this, they go do that without really any kind of explanation and really too much of a character development. It's very, very weird. Even after finishing the game, it just started to roll credits and there was really nothing afterwards, and it's kind of jarring, honestly. Exploration is the bread and butter of Remnant 2. I absolutely loved exploring every nook and cranny of this game. There are so many side dungeons and areas not shown on the map that I was always surprised with new gear, materials, or just like a random boss fight. This game rewards the player for curiosity. Some dungeons have full-on bosses, and then some of them are just you're on a train and you have to go from cart to cart, taking out enemies before the time runs out. I'm glad they added the variation to these kind of dungeons, and it kind of keeps them fresh. The puzzles are really done well, and they're not overly complicated, and honestly, it's kind of what I was looking for in this game. The design of the world beckons to be explored. The random events that happen around the map really keep the game fresh, and I think that gives the game more replayability, because every time you start a new game, you could start the campaign in a different place. Something really cool about this game is that you can run a campaign but also roll adventure mode at the same time to experience the rest of the game. This can be re-rolled as many times as you want with your character without losing any of your gear, and it won't affect your campaign progress. This is a genius idea. The adventure mode can be used for leveling, finding more gear that you couldn't get before, and so much more. I absolutely love this. Remnant 2 is a Soulsborne game that takes the genre seriously and puts its own twist on it. I had a roller coaster of a time with this game, but in the end, I really did enjoy it. The exploration in this game is top tier, and it really reminded me something that From Software would do. Remnant 2 rewards creativity and gives agency to the player on how they want to play and what they want to play. The story takes a backseat, and the boss battles are pretty lackluster and frustrating, which kind of does bum me out. But I think with everything else firing at all cylinders, it's safe to say I can recommend this game if you enjoy Souls games, or even if you want to play a game with friends. Remnant 2 is a great game for that. My rating for this game would be an 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you guys like the video, please hit the like button. If you guys enjoy the content on the channel, hit the sub button. I really, really appreciate it. Tell me what you guys thought of Remnant 2. If you want to play it or if you're looking at it, tell me what you thought about the review as well. If you guys want to watch me live, you can go to twitch.tv/beardandthehair. It'll be in the description below. We talk about Souls. We talk about all kinds of games. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.